This is my Toyota Tacoma, and I'm going to show you how I built it to live out of. Starting with my bedroom, up top here is the Sky Ridge Pike tent from Body Armor. This is a budget tent that you can get on Amazon for about a $900 to $1,000 shipped to your house. We've been using it for going on almost 2 years now. It's been holding up great, and that's our bedroom up there. All right, MTV Cribs, coming over here to the living room. We got a very spacious design with outdoor living. So I have an awning on top of the roof here, and we got 2 chairs and a dog bed. This is just a cheap Amazon chair. This is a nice chair from Walmart, but it has some issues. It got sand in it and it broke, so it's not as reliable as I wish it was for the price. But this is basically the living room area where we spend a lot of time, especially when it's raining or super sunny out. We have this awning to keep us out of the sun. And we got the tent going right up in here. So it kind of turns this into a nice little living room area and a chill out spot. Big fan of this, and it's really cheap actually. A lot of these awnings are expensive. This one is about $100 on Amazon. I don't remember the brand. It's just a cheap little guy, but it's been holding up pretty good. It isn't waterproof. I sprayed it with water repellent and it's been working really good. But if you guys are new to awnings, you're gonna have to angle this down. It's really easy to set up, but angle it down so the water will run off rather than pile up in the middle. Another must to have in the living room or any spot that you're hanging out at outside are gonna be tiki torches or tiki torch variants. These keep the bugs away and make light. So if you don't feel like having a fire, which we usually don't, fire these up, make some nice light and keep those bugs away. Next up here is the master bathroom. Very spacious design here. Right here we got the kick-ass shower awning. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but this is the basic model. It doesn't have the roof. I didn't see the point of having a roof. It didn't make sense to me. Whatever, if you guys have the roof or want the roof, that's up to you. Going into the water for the shower, on top of the roof here, I have the Weekender water port. That's what it's called, Weekender, water port, Weekender, whatever. It'll be linked in the description. It is 8 gallons of pressurized water in a black container, so it gets hot. With the sun, you get a nice hot shower, and I have that hose that's kind of hanging right here. It's not very pressurized right now. I'm gonna have to hook it back up to the pressure. And I'll show you guys how I pressurize that later, but great for taking a shower. It lasts us about 6 to 7 days, and I can't complain about it. Next up, everyone always needs to know about how we use the bathroom. I'm gonna show you our toilet. The big question we always get is how we use the bathroom. Well, it's pretty simple. We got a luxury bidet right here, and it's a budget. I'm kidding, it's not a bidet. This is just a cheap Amazon toilet. They claim that it holds an elephant. I don't know if it does, but it holds me. I weigh about 220 pounds. I'm 6 foot. Holds me up, holds Ashley up. They have decomposable bags. We have decomposable toilet paper. We use it, bury it, and that's it. Not really complicated setup. It's not super hard to use the bathroom out here. I know a lot of people asked us how we do this. Pretty simple, guys. Just a cheap toilet and bury it. Here we're at our luxury kitchen. Starting off with the Coleman Triton. It's a very typical camp stove that you can get. You get one from Walmart, get one from Amazon. I think I got this from Amazon, but not a big deal. Cast iron pan, a nice big one. I use this for basically everything. Cheeseburgers, Alfredo, you name it, it goes into this. Super awesome to have when you're camping. Throw it into a campfire, cook on it, must have. Especially when you're living out of it, keeps cleanup very easy. Coming up here, what we have is a propane tank. This is a 5-gallon propane tank onto a propane tank mount that mounts to my bed rack. We'll talk more about the truck setup. I'm just talking about the living setup right now, so we'll go a little bit more in depth on that. Then coming down here on a tailgate, this is the Mountain Hatch tailgate. It's actually plastic and it's food safe. It's the only cutting board tailgate that's food safe that I could find. And it's got some cup holders. It's got a spatula holder. I'm a big fan of this. The only issue I've seen with this in my experience is if you leave it out in sun and it's like hot sun, like 190 degrees in that range, it'll actually warp and pull the screws out. You can hit it with some water and it'll bend back, but I want to let you guys know about that. Coming into our storage system and where we keep a lot of our kitchen stuff and stuff like that will be in the deck system back here. Here I have spatulas, knives, seasonings, all kinds of random stuff. I have a camp sink. It's a little collapsible sink if I want to do dishes, some tools, It's actually where the toilet gets folded down into and it's stored in here. So this is very crucial to my setup to be able to keep things all in one place and stored in the bed of my truck. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me. I know there's a lot going on in this setup and it's gonna be a long video, but I really appreciate you guys watching and showing interest in my setup, in my life. I love to share it with you guys. This whole setup is so we can sit at spots like this that are free with amazing views like this. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you have any questions about this setup. I'll be happy to answer you. Happy to answer any questions about living this kind of life. Just ask away, I'm here. But coming into the water here, so this is for our kitchen sink area. This is like 6 gallons of water. It's just a typical tank thing from Walmart. You can get pretty cheap. This has been lasting for like, I don't know, 2 years since we started doing this. And I use this for basically everything. I use this as my sink. I use this for water for cooking. I actually use this, I'll fill it up, crawl up on top of the tent when it's closed, and put water into our shower to be pressurized. So this thing is a game changer and it saves us a lot of time and a lot of hassle with dealing with water back here. We already talked about the deck system. I'm using it to its maximum capacity. I'm using all the sides here. This side has oil and stuff for another thing in the truck. This side over here holds a lot of the hoses and stuff for the shower. The other side of the deck system on this side that pulls out is kind of like my catch-all. So it has tools, lights, all kinds of random stuff, towels. It's a mess in there. Some more camp-related cooking. So I have pots and pans, a little compact setup. It's pretty sweet. But that's basically the deck system back here. I guess we can move forward. Before I show you guys inside of the truck and how I keep my food cold, I do want to give a shout out to Wingo. They make amazing products. This is their towel. It dries super fast. We use it basically every day. They also provided us with a super awesome camp related kind of blanket that folds up super small and can also be inversed into a pillow. We've been using that for a while. It keeps us very warm. It's fuzzy on the inside. Amazing products, cool designs. Love those guys. Check them out. They'll be in the description as well. Let me show you guys the inside of the truck and how I keep my food cold. I was on the fence about showing you guys this. I was gonna clean it up and kind of make it look a little bit better for you, but I wanted to show you how it is to live, to live in this in real time. So we have the shower set up here and we don't just fold it up to get in here, but I have the fridge set up right here. This is the Bouge RV fridge. This thing has been holding up fantastic. Dual zone, you can turn one side into a freezer, 2 fridge. We have it set up 2 fridge. Basically on this side of the truck here, we have our pantry. So I have canned goods, dry food, rice and stuff like this in this little area here. Got the fridge here. We call this the basement. We have dog food, some random cans, and our dirty clothes are stored right here. This is how it is, man. Real life, it gets a little stinky in there. So we do laundry about every 4 days, every 5 days. We just kind of drive to a laundromat if you're curious about that. We just pop open the fridge, grab our food out of there. It's pretty simple. I did want to mention we did delete the seat out of the back of the Tacoma. I guess I didn't even mention that. You can check that video out right here of that whole process. It was awesome. Shout out to my dad. He really designed this. You can copy the design. It's cheap and it's very efficient. Up on top of the roof here, we already talked about the shower awning and the awning. I want to talk to you guys about how we store our clean clothes. Some people ask us how we store our clothes, and this is the 23-0 case up there. It's 102 liters. It's a little bit bigger than the Rome cases and a little bit cheaper, but it's a game changer. Make sure dust doesn't get on our clothes and make sure our clothes don't get wet because it's waterproof and dust proof. Big fan of that. Awesome setup. We'll talk about what's on top of that a little bit later. We've already talked about the water port on the other side for our pressurized water for the shower. We're getting ready to wrap up the living portion of this video. In the back of the Tacoma on the other side here, we have a bit of a mess. So this is more of a kind of like my side of the truck. I have a backpack full of tech stuff. So I have 3 laptops in there, chargers, a game controller. Sometimes I like to play a little bit of games. That's what's in the backpack here. Then I have my camera equipment. So I carry my camera bag and my big boy lens. And down here is like another basement area. Basically, we just have our shoes down there. Like 3 pairs of shoes are shoved down in there. It's rough. And then these little bags you see just floating around are things we use to cover up bikes. I'll talk about that later. But I'm sure you're curious about how we power all the stuff in the truck. I work full-time out of this truck. I edit my videos out of this truck. It requires a lot of power. So I have a custom built battery box right here. You can check that video out right here. Shout out to my dad again. He is the guy who can design anything. You come to him with a problem, he'll be like, okay, throw me some money and I'll fix the problem. Love you, buddy. But he built this DIY power box back here, and it is specifically made to run DC power. So the fridge, and it runs the WeBoost, which is a cell phone signal booster. I did a video on that as well, and I saw some comments saying that it doesn't work when you don't have service. I'm here to tell you there's been many occasions where I have no service on my phone, and I flick on the button that turns the WeBoost on, and I have almost full bars, or basically full bars, and I'm getting 10 plus down, which is more than enough for me to work and do what I need to on the internet. So I'm just here to tell you guys the rumors about it not actually working. It works great. We have the Overland edition, so it has the biggest antenna that you can legally have on your vehicle. Oh man, guys, this is a long video. I didn't realize how much I had done to the truck to be able to do this. But I also have some random storage nets in the inside of the truck. I have one up top that saves us a lot of hassle. It holds our blankets, our towels, some random stuff, some stuff for stone, a lunchbox. It is kind of like another catch-all that we kind of stuff stuff in. And then we have a net in the middle that we store our toothbrushes, our deodorant, our soap, and it also stops our dog, because he sits up in the center console, from sliding back into the back where we don't want him. On the topic of power, this is a foldable 200-watt solar panel. It's pretty great. I haven't had any issues with it. I've been beating the crap out of it, to be honest. I'm surprised it's not like broken and the panels aren't smashed yet. Folds up, sticks right in the back seat, super small, and it actually is very efficient. I've seen about 192 watts out of this panel, and we use this panel to charge a battery box. I'm not going to tell you the brand of it because I don't like it. It does not work very good, but it's a 1500 watt hour battery box, so you can find a Jackery or something similar. And we use that to run my laptop, my big gaming laptop, to edit videos. And this 200 watt panel keeps everything running pretty good. Keeping on topic with power here, I have a 100-watt panel that we bolted onto the 23-0 case, put some silicone in there so it remained watertight, and that trickle charges the battery box inside the truck that I'd never take out, that runs the fridge and the WeBoost. Shout out to Guild Outfitters. They sell a power outlet and a small little wiring kit that lets you access the inverter inside of the Tacoma that only goes to the bed. Well, they sell one that you can plug into the back of the console there. I have a video on that as well, a full install there, and that allows us to run 400 watts of power while we're driving. So I charge battery boxes, cameras, laptops. That battery box with 60 watts, I'm able to charge all this stuff while we're driving. So we're driving 5 hours. By the time I get there, all my stuff is at 100%, and I don't have to worry about power. Shout out to Good Outfitters. They're awesome. American-made company right out of Ohio. A bonus little power option I forgot to mention, you guys. I actually have a Predator small generator back there from Harbor Freight. Costs about $400, and it is awesome. It makes sure that we have power when I don't have solar, or if I'm in a spot that doesn't have solar. I fire it up, charge everything up, and it's good to go for another day and a half, 2 days. That's about how long we can last on power, running the fridge and all my laptops and stuff. The Harbor Freight generator is great. I've had no issues with it. I've left it out in the sand. It sits in the bed of the truck so it gets wet. It's great to have as a backup, especially when you're living out of the truck full time like this. And it's quiet. On the Tacoma itself and what I did to it to make sure it can handle a journey like this and living out of it, running all the time and getting kind of beat up. I'm not going to talk about everything I have done to this truck because there's a lot of little aesthetic mods that I've done videos on in the past. I'm just going to focus on the function mods and things I think that can help you when you're out on the road. Number one is going to be a nice set of suspension on your truck. I'm running the Dobson MRR kit, and I can't tell you guys enough. It is an amazing setup. I'm able to run my 33-inch tires here and about 700 pounds in the bed and 100 pounds, 120 pounds on the roof, and still maintain a 3-inch lift that can clear my tires. I love this setup, and I'm able to adjust it. So if we're going to spend a lot of time off-roading, I can make it super soft. We also took the sway bar off of this truck to make sure when we're off-road, we get as much travel as we can. A lot of people cringe when I say that, but the suspension here, I'm able to dial in the low speed compression ratio, which allows me to handle all the body roll. So I have it on 5 right now, and it doesn't even feel like I don't have a sway bar on it. but I still get the benefits of not having one in that added travel. Coming down to my tires here, these are 33-inch Falcon Wild Peak tires, 6 plies. I don't like 10 plies because they're too thick, too heavy, lose a lot of miles per gallon that way, more so than you already do with having this much stuff on the truck. These tires have been holding up really good. They've been wearing out good. They work fantastic in the wintertime, in the dirt. Everything I've thrown at them in the sand works great. And I'm also running Method 312 wheels. They have a nice bead lock, fake bead lock, but they have bead lock technology in them. Just makes me able to air down a little bit more, so like 12 pounds, and I feel comfortable. I'm not going to blow off the bead with these fake bead locks. On to armor. I think it's very important to make sure your truck is going to be safe if you're going to be living out of it. Number one is going to be these rock sliders here. Any brand works. I actually got these off Facebook Marketplace for like $250. Ended up spraying them, bolting them on. They're bolted right to the frame. I'm able to hit rocks with them. I'm able to stand on them and access all the stuff on top of the roof, which is really important. And I just feel a lot safer if trees come up and hit me. They're very nice to have. On the front there, I'm running the Cali Rays skid plate, not the full skid plate. I'm only running about the front because I have a TRD Sport and I didn't want that little tiny skid plate up there. So we upgraded to the Cali Rays and I feel a little bit more protected up front as well. Next up here, I'm going to talk about the lighting I have on the truck. Can't tell you guys how many times we've rolled in the spots around 11 at night and not able to see. It's hard to see if spots are open or if it's a safe spot to set up. So I have the last fit ditch lights right here on the side. They're yellow, amber, and they kind of cut through the dust, cut through the snow. Very nice to see down and out this way. Up top here, I have the last fit light bar. It's a spot flood combo, so I'm able to see the sides more and out. Then underneath, I have some rock lights, but I actually use them as camp setup lights on the frame down here and towards the back that I can flick on and really light up the area when I'm trying to set up camp, so I'm not tripping over stuff and I can actually see what I'm doing. Next up is the rack system on the truck here. Up top, I have the Hook Road roof rack, whatever you want to call it. It's off Amazon, about $400, so it's a budget roof rack. It's been holding up really well. I don't think anyone's used it like I've been using it, but it's been holding up, holding all that stuff. Pretty good for the budget. I'm happy with it. On the back here is the Victory 4x4 bed rack. And I like it at this height because everything, once the tent's closed, everything is kind of level and at the same kind of like, I don't know, level with each other, I guess. Works great. And it's also kind of like a budget compared to the other ones. It's about $800. Then we have the bike racks on the side here that hold our e-bikes. I don't really like these. They're very expensive, like $260 for one. I think these are overpriced and I bet somebody else makes better ones. Mounted here are off-brand Max Tracks. These are like X-Bulls. I don't expect these to hold up at all. Honestly, I bet they break the first time I go to use them, but I have them on there just in case I need them. Max Tracks cost about $340. And as you guys can tell, I haven't had to use these yet, and they've been mounted on a truck for about a year now. And I haven't had to use them. The trails I run on are pretty decent, and I don't have to worry about getting stuck. We live out of this truck, so I don't do anything too crazy, but this is in case of emergency, I can use these. On this side, we have another bike rack here. This is for Ashley's bike. It weighs 75 pounds, so these mounts do hold up pretty well. I just don't like them. Then we have roto packs here. This holds the fuel for the generator. A little bit of extra water here because sometimes we run out of water and I don't feel like packing up and leaving. So this holds 2 gallons of fuel and 2 gallons of water as backup. Then we also have the propane here. We already mentioned that, but I guess I'll mention it again. For fun living out of the truck, our main hobbies are biking. These are 2 e-bikes. I know what you guys are thinking, e-bikes are cheating. I hear it all the time, but this is a full carbon fiber bike. It's able to go about 80 miles on a charge. I use it as a vehicle. It's awesome for us to leave here and go get stuff if we need it. Ashley's bike is a monster truck. It's got 4-inch wide tires. She's able to do about 70 miles on one charge, go up very steep hills. We load this thing up with wood. If we want some campfire wood, she can go 20 miles, grab some campfire wood, come back. We have a campfire. So these are just not only fun, but they're very versatile because we use them as vehicles. So 10 out of 10, if you're on the fence about getting an e-bike or you're looking at them, these are awesome for overlanding or just adventuring or just having fun. I love these. Also for fun, back here in the bed of the truck, we have 2 inflatable paddle boards that I got on a really good discount. I got them on sale after, I think 4th of July for $80 each. Then they shot up in price and are almost $500. So I don't know if somebody kind of like lost their job and mispriced these, but they're awesome. We're able to hit the river, camp near a river, do a little paddle boarding. I love it. Put the dog on there. It was a blast. We got a couple different hobbies out of the bed of the truck here. I also have my weights for my little gym. It's not much, 30-pound weights. I would like to get some bands maybe, but it's enough to keep blood moving, keep you active. That's just very important. Forgot to mention these two key components. They're a little bit extra. You don't really need this, but we have a house air conditioner we got from Walmart for like $130, shoved up here into the window. We run it off on one of our battery banks. It'll last basically all night. Doesn't use too much power. It's a 5,000 BTU air conditioner on some wood up there on top of the water port. It's a little sketchy, but it works good. And like tonight, it's going to be about 85 degrees all night up here in the mountains of North Carolina. Sweaty, gross. It's the only way we can sleep. Also, we have the ARB single air compressor underneath the hood here. It's great for, like I said, pressurizing the water for the shower, pumping up our mountain bike tires, and pumping up our actual tires on the truck for when we air down to hit the trails, hit the beach, or in case we hit a flat, to be able to air stuff up. It's very convenient to have an air compressor on board or available on your setup. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're so close. Not really. We're going to get there, I hope, soon. Check this video out right here. It's pretty good. And I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this.